Hello everybody, my name is Spicy and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Ice Golem and why it's the most important dungeon to get into right now. So a lot of you guys are probably moving into trying to do Hydra Clash and trying to get your numbers up pretty high. And one of the biggest things, and one of the things I'm currently working on, and as soon as I realized that, hey, I need to do this, I figured I'd tell you guys you should probably be doing it. So you can see here, in Nightmare, I went ahead and got 303 million with one key, which is pretty good. It's definitely nothing to scoff at or anything, but it's not what I want it to be. And something that I need to do is, you see this provoke set? I need to get it on my Necmo. Mishinaki provoke set is amazing, but I really need to get a fast provoke set. Fast provoke sets, fast hex sets, these things are super important, and you guys really need to look at getting into it. If you're looking at Hydra, you're looking at getting as many turns as possible on the people who matter the most. Getting to turn count, getting the most damage, the more turns, the more damage is what matters. So with my Michi, I have him in a provoke set, which is losing me damage. I need to get my Necmo in it, and I need to be farming Ice Golem. This is my Michi right now. He does okay. He did almost as much damage as my Varl, and my Varl's built pretty insane. So I think that says a lot. I need to get him into lethal and get my Necmo into provoke, because right now I can't get him that fast in provoke. So we know why we need to do it. Let's move on over. How should we do this? I currently farm stage 9 of Ice Golem. Stage 10 takes too long and isn't very consistent. Stage 9 is very consistent and very fast. So let's go ahead and take a look at this run real quick, and then I'll go more into other teams you could be looking at, how this team works specifically, why I have who I have in here, and yeah. So I do have a Kymar. I'm running a Renegade here, simply because she dies and my Kymar doesn't. Um, yeah, I've been having that issue recently, where my Lydia isn't placing anything, but she has more than enough accuracy. So this run's gonna go on just a little bit longer than I'd like. Um, Part of why I run this stage specifically is because Seer kills herself in the wave, and that saves a lot of time usually. We'd be close to being done if it wasn't for this issue right here. Maybe I need to throw on an extra 100 accuracy onto my Lydia. I'm not sure. I have her in Hex right now, so maybe if I take her out of Hex, it could be a little bit better. But yeah. So yeah, I guess clearly I need to. We just have Artak soloing the boss. It's a pretty quick run. You want to make sure you don't have War Master on him. If you have War Master, he'll end up just killing himself. And the reason that I'm running him on this stage and not 10 is because mine isn't fast enough to tank through all of these hits, because he's in regen. So each of the time he's getting a turn, he's healing. So I think I need him like 260 speed, with all the stats I already have him in, to be running this on stage 10 consistently. But yeah, 130 even with a really big mess up in the waves, we love to see it. So Artak solos the boss, we just have Seer and Lydia and Renegade to clear out the waves, and Brago brings his passive. So if you go ahead and look over here, this is the build on Lydia. Yeah, no, I definitely need to change that. I forgot that I didn't have the area bonuses for Lydia. So we're going to be, I'll probably just be taking her out of this and putting her in a protection set. I don't know if I have, do I have a protection amulet? No, I don't. Okay. Once I can get 9-piece protection on her, I'll be doing that. But for now, I'll probably just be trying to get her with some more accuracy in a hex or something. But her stats overall are 80k HP, 4k defense, 274 speed, 323 accuracy, fully booked with 3-star Brimstone, going down into Master Hexer with Lasting Gifts and War Master. Then we have what really matters here is the Artak build. Now, Artak is the best one for it, but you could also use Tomb Drain. You could use possibly Ninja. I don't know how well he would actually work. It would probably take a really long time. You're better off using maybe even like somebody like Frenzy. Tunisia could do it. If you can get them tanky, that's the issue. You can use any burn champion, but it's just how tanky can you get them. Artak's a very tanky champion, and he struggles even on these higher levels. So let's look at the build. He's in Regen, Righteous, and One Piece Stone Skin. He is at 86k HP, 3.3k defense, 256 speed, 419 resistance, and then 369 accuracy. Overall, really solid stats, and it wouldn't be hard to upgrade him actually. He's losing a lot of HP by having an accuracy chestplate, but these are all things that if I put a little bit more focus on Artak would be fixed pretty quickly. I can actually probably just get this up now. I've been doing a lot of farming. I have a 6-star speed glyph. I didn't know that. That's nice. But yeah, any of these glyphs can do a lot for you, and just getting them to that perfect amount of stats. I believe you want him around 410 resistance. I could be wrong, but then I think it's around 340 to 350 accuracy that you're looking for. I have him fully booked with 2-star brimstone. You can really use anything if you're struggling to make it work and you have any of the shield uh, blood shield accessories. You could throw one of those on and change this over to emergency heal, which is actually something I plan on doing. It's just I don't have the gems right now to fix it, but that will bring even more consistency, more heals, and overall be great for you. When it comes to Artak, his masteries, I have him going down into Unshakable and Master Hexer. You should be getting Spirit Haste on him. Don't make the mistake I did. Be sure to get Spirit Haste. That adds 24 speed and is probably the reason why I can't do stage 10 right now. So if I added 24 speed onto him, and I had the Ice Golem bonuses, he would be at what? I say 28 or did I say 24 or 28 speed? Yeah, 24 speed. If I added 24 speed onto this, we'd be at 290 speed, which would be awesome. Right, probably right around where I need him. But then we have Iron Brago in here for his passive. His passive increases the defense of all allies by 10% of this champion's defense. So I just have him running at 6.7k defense and calling it a day. His build doesn't really matter. You just want him to die, which is kind of hard when you have that much defense, but you can make it work. Seer, I have her in lethal. She's not in a great build, but I actually downscaled her gear after getting the soul that I have on her, but she's at 237 speed, 296 crit damage, and lethal, has a 6-star crushing rend, obviously fully booked. She is +1, and she's going down into Helm Smasher. And then Renegade, the build doesn't matter, I just need her to take a turn at some point, and she has Stone Skin to bring 1 extra buff, even though, again, doesn't really matter. She's at 246 speed, has Stone Skin, fully booked, doesn't have masteries, and a 2-star Phantom Touch. So that is my personal team. That's the one I'm running, and that's the one I'm working on min-maxing after I've realized, hey, I really need to focus on Ice Golem. Some teams that you guys could run, or just the general roles you need to fill. When it comes to this, like I said, Artak is the best, but you need an HP burner. You need somebody who's going to do your damage for you. This can be Supreme Gaelic, this can be Walking Tomb Drain, this could even be Skrank or Akoth. It can be any of those champions, any of those AoE HP burn champs, preferably ones that don't do that much damage. One, because you don't want the ads to die. When the ads are alive, you get to do so much more damage, and that's super important to make the run faster. If you're not worried about speed, you could really run anybody. So for this example, we're going to go ahead and call it Tomb Drain. Once you have your damage dealer, you then need a support. Or you could do what I'm doing and do a speed run. But let's say you can't do that because you don't have Seer, you don't have Lydia, something like that. You take your damage dealer, you for the boss, then you need a support for the boss. You need somebody who's going to keep your damage healer alive while letting the rest of your team die. One of these champions, a great option, is going to be somebody like a Uko. Uko, if you have him built right, is going to give you that decreased attack to make sure the boss isn't slamming. You can also make sure he doesn't get any weird stuff up, giving that decreased attack and everything. And also, he can give you a revive if needed, but preferably you turn that off. You don't want him to use that. You just want him to be there to make sure that Drang doesn't die by just bringing a little bit of support. From there, you need somebody to help you with the waves. Now, if you're using Artak can handle the waves pretty much on his own, no problem, especially with Mithrala. And Mithrala is probably the best one because she's then going to help you with the boss as well, getting rid of all the debuffs being put on you and putting out some great buffs. So the Hex is what she does for the waves, and she doesn't do too much damage unless you ever built for damage. She might be able to do some, but it's nothing crazy. We then need either some more support, another HP burner, just something to keep the run moving. You don't want to have these periods where you're just sitting there doing nothing, wasting a bunch of time. You could bring in Rathalos. Now that is a very risky move because obviously he can proc the passive and everything. But you could also bring a block reviver. You could bring in somebody like a Phoenix. So with that, it's not so much a speed comp, it's just a safe comp. In this one, we're looking more for a safe comp rather than a speed one. So you could bring in a Phoenix to A1 the side adds, but you don't really need to do that. Block Revive helps if you're struggling to get somewhere in the boss, but well, in the boss stages. But if you aren't struggling to get up to the higher stages, I probably wouldn't do that. Like I said, making sure the side adds are alive is pretty important. The reason that the reason that you wouldn't want to bring in that big damage is the boss is passive and not being able to get the HP burns out. Along with having a Mithrala in there, that Hex, that damage that's going to be spread out through them, you might see some issues with that damage going out onto the boss and causing the boss's passive to proc while both of the side adds are up, which isn't fun. These are all things to keep in mind, and I know I've reiterated the same points quite a few times. There's just certain things that you really need to point out. But yeah, when I was doing my comp, I went ahead and threw an Iron Brago for that extra defense to make the boss easier, make our damage dealer even tankier. That's something you could do. There's plenty of ways to fight this. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. You bring in Ally Protect, you bring in Wixwell, whatever you need to do. Just try to make sure that your damage dealer stays alive and you're not sitting here taking a bunch of extra turns with somebody like Seer. If they die, you want them to stay dead. So if you get to the boss and you have Seer in there, if you have any big damage dealer, just turn off their damage dealing abilities, turn them off, and turn off the revive so they get gone and you are chilling. Outside of that, there isn't too many roles you need to fill. Just a few things to keep in mind. If you can't do hard mode, you can still do normal, and in normal, all you need is a poisoner. You can solo it with a Dark Kale. You can solo the entire thing on stage 24 with Tomb Lord. And I wish that I would have had certain champions for normal Ice Golem when it was valid for at least end game. If you're early game, do normal. It's so much easier. It's so much faster just to use poisoners. But if I would have had people like Zavia and stuff for normal, Eleanor, Zavia, it would be so nice because poisons, they're really fun here. But yeah, guys, that is kind of my synopsis on why you should be doing Ice Golem, why it's so important, where it's important. If you guys are struggling in Hydra and struggling to make teams, a lot of these bigger teams, if you haven't looked, are often going to be running a lot of provoke sets, hex sets. As you can see here, this Mishinaki in a provoke set, and it just makes a world of a difference in the amount of damage you're able to do. Yeah, this Uko here is in provoke set. That's something else in your actual runs themselves. If you have that Uko, if you have that support in a stun set or a provoke set, it will actually just help you get through the waves way easier if you're struggling to get through those. But yeah, guys, I have no other points to say. If I keep going, I'm just going to keep reiterating the things I'm saying. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you did learn anything from this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing. I really do appreciate each and every bit of support you guys give. If you'd like to get involved in the community at all, I have my Discord link in the description of all of my videos, and there you can find a great community of people who are more than happy to give advice or help with any issues that you're having. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.